what I'm not able to solve today, so long as it doesn't take my life, I have another opportunity to do that tomorrow.
Welcome to the Long Game Podcast. Today we'll be talking about a topic that affects many millions of men around the world. Why men are struggling in silence. So today I'm here with Mr. Chinedu.
Yeah. Thank you for having us. Yeah.
All right. So we'll be talking about the challenges men face, and we want to hear from your personal view, from your personal experience, or what you think, and want to hear about the challenges you've seen so far, and challenges probably you must have overcome, and probably things you're still experiencing. And so we'll be deliberating now. We'll be talking about today is going to be about men.
Or is Men's Day?
Yeah, it's a men's day today. So we're talking about men's day. So we're talking about uh, why men are struggling in silence, how it affects men, how it affects because men are providers, men are fathers, men are husbands, men are professionals, and I've come to realize that most of the time men struggle a lot, and we don't really have people to talk to. Sometimes I have this issue too. Sometimes I tend to call one or few friends, few brothers, few uncles. So I'm just going to hear your view. I'm just going to hear what you think. Why do you think men struggle in silence?
Okay. So men really struggle in silence.
Hmm.
I think that's a question I should be having on my lips. Do men really struggle in silence? Anyways, from my perspective of who a man is, I'm just trying to borrow the explanation.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let's keep it in.
Who a man is, who is really a man. Societal norm as this identity that is being given to a man. It's been there from time immemorial, even though it's been stereotyped. However, men is seen as someone who provides,
Yeah.
is seen as someone who supports, who takes the lead,
Yeah.
a leader, someone who can be held accountable, someone who is responsible. So you see, these are like embodiment of identities that is being attributed to a man.
Yeah.
That's the definition of who a man is. And all of these things that I've just reeled out now comes with struggles. For you to lead, you need to struggle. You face a lot of hurdles around leadership. For you to be able to support, of course, it's like you shouldering a whole lot of force on you. So I think man, from the time of creation, man can be defined as an embodiment of struggle. So if I am now attaching to your question, why do we then, I mean, man, of course, struggle in silence? That's the part where I am then asking, do we struggle in silence? Do we struggle? Yes, it's our identity. We struggle.
It's our identity.
Yeah, that is, in fact, as Christians, it is said there that God said, go and till the ground.
Go and till the ground.
Struggle.
Go and struggle.
So, but then, are we supposed to struggle and then be shouting it? Anyways, that's very relative. That's a very relative question to ask. Should we struggle and then shout it and then tell everyone out there we are struggling? Should we struggle in silence? Like I said, it's a whole relative question on its own.
Yeah.
But yes, of course, men do struggle in silence.
Yeah.
Why do men struggle in silence? For several reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, I would say men struggle in silence because of ego. Because it is there, connotes responsible, leader, supporter, somebody to be held accountable.
Yeah.
If you are not meeting up to any of these expectations, because there's this ego, you know, that a man has, that you don't want yourself to be put down. So you rather struggle to see how you can live up to that expectation in silence, rather than throwing yourself out there for critics. A lot of people don't like being criticized. A lot of people don't like being spoken down and talked down. A lot of people don't like being seen as failure. So you see a lot of people tend to just struggle on their own in silence. And however, I think what the question you've put out there uh, is a very robust one.
Yeah.
Why I say it's robust is because when you say struggle, in what aspect are we talking about here? Are we talking about struggling in terms of surviving, struggling in terms of being a man, in terms of providing for your family, in terms of even becoming somebody in the society, or rather giving yourself a destiny in the society? So there's always struggle at every point in time. But people struggle for several reasons. Some people because they don't want society to see them, in a particular kind of life. They don't want their family to see them as a failure. Some they don't want people to see that they are not trying enough. So they rather face their hurdles within the confines of their home and not let anybody, see what they are going through. So I'm trying to like answer your question by saying yes, men are struggling in silence. It is true. But then for several reasons. One cannot just put it out there. If I bring you out now and ask you, Dave, why are you going through what you're going through? I am not saying anything to anybody. Your answer will be different from another person who is also doing the same. So for several reasons, a lot of people struggle in silence. But are men really struggling in silence? Yes, men are struggling in silence.
Sorry, before cutting it short, you mentioned something, you said pride.
Yeah.
What role does pride play in men's struggle?
A very big role. Because as a man, I think it's a natural affinity of man to hold himself to high esteem, to pride himself, massage himself with ego, because someone have told you you are in charge. Someone have told you you are a leader. Someone have told you you are responsible. You don't want to go beneath that definition of being, that man. So if the picture of man being painted is what I've read out now, everybody wants to live up to that expectation. That is what the society expects you. A man, you grow up today and you tell your family, I am now a full grown man. I'm ready to take up the responsibility of raising my own home. Expectations are dropped out. A lot of things are expected from you. That ego then sets in. You don't want anybody to see less of you. So you see, that is the pride that we are not talking about. Because you want to just be at a certain level. And in you trying to operate at that level, there's this ego that is in you, is inherent. You don't want anybody to see less of you, other than what this society have placed there out there as what we expect of a man. So that is where the pride thing comes in. So if you're not doing what they think you should be doing as a man, right? That pride in you will then, it surfaces, it tries to let you know that I need to push, I need to get there. This is what they expect in me. I cannot sell my pride, I cannot go below what is expected. The ego would then, try to make you see yourself as someone who needs to attain a certain height. And I mean, that's just what it is. It's inherent.
So going down to was we've said that men's struggle is relative. So we've said men's struggle can be a form of pride, and
Now, boiling down to mental health. Sometimes I feel financial pressure makes even man has little issues. That's because sometimes troubles leads to mental health issue. And one of mental health is depression. So do you think that financial pressure is also part of it? Or is it just like the major source of men's mental health issues? I think it's just little part of it. So sometimes there are even few people I know that as back home that they're not really rich or wealthy, probably middle class, professional. And they're really doing okay than even the billionaires that. Because most people that are even rich sometimes, they even want to go through this.
You see, that's I like the question that you've just put out. It kind of pushes up the earlier definition I gave as to why struggle is a real born. Someone today will tell you that their struggle is the fact that they don't have peace in their home.
Yeah.
That is a struggle.
Yeah, that's a struggle.
Another person can come today and tell you that health challenge is their struggle, and or a family member's health challenge is their struggle.
Yeah.
Another person can also come out and say job satisfaction is their struggle. Some other person will tell you that their struggle is not being financially stable or hurdles in business. So it's broad, it's very relative. What's really becomes an issue for one differs from what another person perceives as their own issues.
Yeah.
But then a general acceptable norm here is to people struggle.
Yeah.
Yes, to men struggle. Yes. Financial struggle is one aspect of the struggle. However, there are a lot of things that actually causes this financial struggle.
Yeah.
When somebody have, as a man, like I said, you feel you are responsible, and then you try to carve out a niche for yourself and say, this is the height of my financial stability. This is the height of my comfort. So that definition that you then give yourself is what puts you in a tight corner if you're not meeting up to that expectation. And it could be because of the pressures that you're getting from people around you. Perhaps you have a partner, for instance, who have told you, who must drive a car and it must be 2023 model. You see, and when your partner have said that to you,
Yeah.
that becomes an expectation. You need to work hard and see towards it that at the end of the period that you are given, you are able to get the 2023 model of car input for the family.
Yeah.
You have created them as
The
a
trouble. Stress.
Yeah. So for everything you do at that point, you're working towards seeing how you can get that. And it's possible that the financial access that you have is very limited. So you are boxing yourself, putting yourself in a trouble that you're not the one creating it actually. So what I'm trying to say here is
No, is it the man creating it or the partner creating
no,
it?
yes, is the man. Because why I would say is the man is if you are a leader,
Yeah.
if you are responsible, if you are providing, one of the attributes of leadership is you being able to explain, is you being able to communicate. Yeah, that's the word. You being able to communicate with whoever that is around you, including your partner, of course. You being able to be held accountable. You being able to show the course why you should be followed. Because a leader have people who will follow them. So if I'm leading my family, for instance, my family should be able to follow my leadership. So when I sit down to discuss with my partner, yes, we need 2023 model of car. I agree, but it cannot be now. These are the XYZ reasons why it cannot be now. We'll work towards it, but not with pressure. I expect that partner will understand. However, it's not rocket science for our partners to say they tend to agree.
Understand.
So the struggle, in man's life is a very continuous one, right?
It doesn't end.
However, a man can increase their struggle in several ways. You can increase your struggle probably with kind of partner you choose. Yeah, with the kind of people you surround yourself with. And that is why you see that some people then begins to talk about mental health affecting them out of the troubles that they look themselves in. Because I am one of the persons that will always will say, if you can't do it, leave it. That is my attitude to life. But then it's not everybody that have that same attitude to life. When I can't have when I'm not in control of, I tend not to go sleepless nights after it because I understand that tomorrow might present a better opportunity for me to do that. So that the fact that I can't do it today does not mean I cannot do it better tomorrow. If I understand this, then why then should I really stress myself? But that's probably it's a different conversation about the same. All I'm trying to say is there is mental health challenges. Financial pressure is one of the things that causes mental challenges for men because when you have these pressures around you, you can't sleep at night because you're thinking, how do you real up how do you raise school fees? Maybe you put your children in the schools in the private school. The school fees is very expensive, and you know that at that moment your financial situation is really straining, but you want to belong to a society that you know design for yourself. And then again, probably your living condition, you've gone to live in highbrow area. Yeah, the rent is so expensive, or cost of living is so like that is so high, and these are all contributing to pressures for you. And then like a whole lot of things that a man can create. And then you go home at night, you try to sleep from one thought to the other. Of course, your cortisol level will begin to vary. Before you know, you go mad. So you begin to develop health issues. It's not high blood pressure, it's something else. And at the end of the day, you begin to face health challenges just because you put yourself under serious financial challenges. Some persons, it could be probably somehow they found themselves in debt, and not being able to know how to go about solving that challenge of debt, being indebted, can also lead to this that mental stress that financial pressures can cause. So yes, financial pressures is one of the things that men struggle, and it's one of the effects of it, one of the after effects of it is mental challenge. Aside other things, there are still other things that always cut off it, but yeah, mental health issue is one of the things that shoots up financial pressure. Yeah.
So we're talking about we've spoken about struggles, spoken about mental health. Now I'm talking about stress. I have a belief that, as I used to tell my partner every time, I have to believe that stress is not something that ends in one go. Stress is like more of you chopping a sugar cake, for example. You keep on chopping it, chopping it. You can't just say you want to end stress in a day. You can't compress stress in a day. Let's say you go to the market and buy food. Let's say you are not really very buoyant. Go to the market, just for an example now. Go to the market to get some food in the supermarket. It's a stress on its own. The food will get finished. After that, you go and you buy another one. It's not something that ends. Is more of a cyclical thing. It keeps on moving, it keeps on coming. But I want you to realize that stress itself, you need to, as a man, because this conversation today is mainly for men. So as a man, that's the way you should be able to manage your stress. It comes to ask you now that from your own point of view, because we'll be speaking about most of this mental health. But how do you think men should? Because now we're talking about the solution now. So how do you think men should manage their stress? Do they need to probably start an habit, or do they need to probably? Because some men don't even go out; they get shook inside their house. Some men don't even. For example, someone like me, if I get stressed too much, because stress can come from everywhere, from anywhere now. Let's say the stress is coming from my partner, for example. Sometimes
That is possible, yeah.
stress can come from place of work. Stress can come from your home, even from your neighborhood, even from anywhere, even from your family. Not just extended family, even from your parents. Stress can come from even from your friends, peer pressure. These things are part of stress. So how do you think? I just want to hear from you. How do you think men should manage their stress?
Yeah, anyways, they're talking about men, but then men, it involves anyone. Management of stress really should be a personal struggle or it's one because they struggle or this. The truth of the matter is stress is not good for anyone. Just like you
So today we are talking about men because women.
no, I'm not going to. I'm not going.
Because women are very good. They are very good managers.
Yes, of course I agree, but I'm not.
Generally, I'm not saying generally.
Yeah.
The reason I'm not talking about women, we talk about women some other time. Women generally are good managers. Yeah, of course. Because women manage the own women. Most of the places, if you put a woman as a manager,
They do well.
they do very well, even than
not in all places saying we're very passive.
No, not yeah, that's another conversation, but not in all people, most of the time.
Yeah.
So women are good managers of stress. Once women are being stressed, they know who to talk to. They put the stress on.
But then they heap it on men as well. Yeah, but then I don't want to make my conversation
About
that. Yeah,
yeah, it's okay. Let's just talk
I
about
don't want to divide. What I'm trying to say here is management of stress. Yeah, uh it has to take first of all a personal resolve. So for me, if I understand that I am under pressure, I'm under stress, because one of the things that stress can even cause would be depression, which is where the stress that it comes in. Because if you're really pressured, if you're really undergoing stress, of course in silence, you don't know how to go about it. You're stressing yourself, you're stressing your brain, you're stressing your body, and all of that. And then one of the things that begins to happen is then withdrawal, with social withdrawal and stuff like that. And some people tend to go into depression. So for someone who is really going through stress, distraction is always one of the key recommendations. We try to see how one can distract yourself from what you don't have control over at the moment. So if, for instance, you need to raise 1 million naira, I'm just saying, at the moment, and you don't.
No, let's go around Nigeria now.
Okay.
And let's say 5,000 pounds.
Okay, so let's assume you want to raise. Let's assume the stress you're undergoing through is a financial stress, and is giving you serious stress. To see how you go about raising. Let's say maybe 5,000 pounds. Yeah. You don't have the wherewithal of raising these funds. You've exploited every avenues at that moment. It's not visible. Maybe you've tried to talk to the bank, try to talk to friends or family. This money is for coming forth. You're not going to kill yourself at that moment. So one of the things that we understand, what I personally is a personal experience, is the fact that what I'm not able to solve today, so long as it doesn't take my life, I have another opportunity to do that tomorrow. So if I can try again tomorrow, why then do I have to die? Because if I died today, the problem was got solved. So that mentality alone, having a very positive mentality, is one of the ways to manage stress. Just have a very positive mentality. Everything is possible. Even though you can't see the results immediate, you can see that this is possible at this point. Just understand that it can be possible tomorrow. Probably there's something that you've not tried differently. Can you always go back to the drawing board? Do you even have a drawing board? You understand? For you to always fall back to and explore if there could be other ways. Not in a very distressing way. Always put up a positive attitude to everything. That is one of the ways I've come to realize that stress can be managed, pressures can be managed. And then secondly, try to create an environment where you get to talk to people. Sometimes talking to someone helps. It's possible that who you're talking to, somebody you can rely on in is, I need to buttress on that, because for some people, they just want to hear about your problem and then it becomes a topic for them. So already my conversation. Oh yeah. So you have to first of all
Know the person.
know who you're talking to. Someone that is very reliable, that you can talk about your problem to. A problem and a problem shared is a problem half solved. Like they say. So if you have a reliable person to talk to, just you talking
So the boss
to the person gives you some form of relief. It's possible that after having that conversation, the person might not have any species solution to you. But the fact that you had someone who listens to you, sometimes it helps. That heave in you get this relief, sigh relief, that it may be just that night you might be able to get some sad day. So yes, I've said, of course, try to distract yourself, try to see how you can puzzle someone. And then another thing, it's continuous cultivation of positive mentality. You understand, stress is never a good thing. There's no benefit that stress gives to whether our health or to life itself. So if you know that this thing is detrimental to your health, then you should run from it. So any way one can avoid being overly stressed is seriously encumbered. Because when you're stressed, your mental health is disturbed, your health generally is disturbed, because sometimes people are stressed, they lose appetite. And when you lose appetite, you tend to be in the low some serious health challenges. So at the end of the day, the problem is not solved. You already create another problem on its own that is still going to stress you the more. Because imagine you're trying to raise 5,000 pounds, you can't sleep, you then develop high blood pressure, and then eventually you're not able to raise the money, but then you have high blood pressure. That will not start stressing you because you can't sleep even when you want to sleep. So you see, you compound your problems just because you are yielding into stress. So understanding that stress is not good, because when you understand that something is not good for you, it's just okay for you to run away from it. And how do you run away from it? Like I said, one of the best ways, one of the best practicable ways is for anyone to cultivate a very mental attitude to life. I mean, positive as social life. Once you have a positive attitude to life, you will understand that it's not possible today does not make it impossible at all. And you continue to try, you continue to think. I mean, we will have this capacity to think. Even when you can't think, then you talk to someone who probably will help you. Two heads are better than one, they will say. And I will always will say to a fellow mate out there, most of the stress that we face in life tend to triple when we then have a family. So when we become a family man. As a single man, some of the things in life, our perspective to life is usually tailored to one straight line, right? And by the time you decide to raise a family, to add someone else into your life, I'm not saying this to scare people, but then it's something that is out there as is real, because you're now responsible for adult life. You're responsible for providing. You're responsible for making sure people are safe. You're safeguarding people. You're making sure that you're supporting people and all of that. Your responsibility triples and it adds to your stress. So, planning is really helpful and it helps to avoid stress. So, for every step in life, a man should always be able to plan. Look at your drawing board in life. Where are you heading to? I am not saying that we've not seen people who were very successful and then maybe then start the family life and then everything crumbles. I'm not saying that is not possible. It's possible. But then for such a person who already have a blueprint to what they want in life, or will still find a way to come back to that blueprint and pick up again. But when you don't have none at all, it is very disastrous. So I am saying conscious planning of life. Life it's just very dynamic. And once you understand that life is very dynamic, what it means is that always have a blueprint as to where you're going to. Is either from stop to end. That is life for you straight. I started from here, I'm going to end here.
Yeah.
So while I am going to end here,
Chapters.
what are the chapters? What are the offshoots? How do I navigate through this terrain, get to my destination? So for you as a man, where is even your destination? Is it to become a very successful person, to become wealthy, to excel in your career? Is it for you to have 5 children? Like there should be a defined, there should be a defined, what I'm saying is one should have a defined end destination. You understand, to life. Where you have this defined end destination, it helps you to navigate, it helps you to plan, it helps you to manage this stress, because you know that this is where I'm headed to. I'm not distracted. Because if I set out a goal now, say this year 2026, by the end of 2026, I am going to have 10,000 pounds in my account. All of my energy is channeled towards this. So if at some point distractions begin to come, because I know I'm headed somewhere, I'm not distracted. I know this is where I'm getting to. It helps me to manage whatever pressures that come around. I have a target. That is where I'm headed to. So that way you see that because I already know where I'm going to, when things that could pressure me that I know at the end of the day might lead to stress, right, comes, I'm able to see how to avoid it. And then if eventually I see that I am out, the year is coming to an end and I'm not here, right, then I'll begin to see how to begin, I will readjust. Why? Because I have a positive attitude to it. I am not saying it's do or die. The only do or die in life is that we are born and we are going to die one day.
That's the way.
Every other thing is just jara, as they will say. Yeah. I mean, that's for me. Yeah.
So we're coming to the end of this section now. So we come to the end. So, what is one thing that you want men to take home from this conversation we've just had? Just one thing that wants men to you shouldn't forget about this conversation. So just okay, like measure also that one thing what meant tight. I come to this conversation because we're coming to the end of October.
Yeah, well, one of the things I always would say it's one, more doesn't kill you makes you stronger. As a man, you should always understand that the life is not two. It's just one life. Life is not two. Yeah, it's just one life that every one of us has. We should learn to preserve our lives, to preserve our health, preserve our mental health at every cost. We need to be a man, yes, when it's talks do or die, to be the best man out there. There's never the best man. There's never the best man out there. We should continue to do what we can to be the best we can be, but then we can never outshine any best, because the first that you think you seen today is someone else's beginning tomorrow. So at every point in time, let's always look out for ourselves. There's no need for us to overly stress ourselves, put our health at risk, all in the name of trying to please meet a particular expectation that is put out there, just so that we understand that is what is being defined as man. We are the man. We define ourselves. We define ourselves. You define who you think you are, you want to be, and people around you should see who you are, because that is who you want them to see, not you trying to fit into your society or the mission of who in that base.
Thank you so much. So we've come to the end of the program today. Why do men struggle in silence? So Mr. Chinedu has exploited so many reasons why men struggle. Is spoken about to all lots of things, and I've really learned a lot from what we said today. Talk to people and just know who you're talking to, because talking to the wrong person sometimes can create more problem and create more problems, even more conversations. So he said a lot of things about just talking to people. I think that's one thing I'm going to hold on today. Is spoken about positive mindsets, a continuous positive mindset. Travel, just go out, just make sure that things don't get to you. So thank you so much, guys. So we've come to the end of the Long Game Show. You see next time we'll talk about more issues, be inviting more people around. Thank you so much.